Turmeric, pumpkin seeds, and salmon. Oh my. Chef Matt Dean Pettit's here with a recipe that'll help your little gray cells and please the whole family in today's Daily Dish. Here's what you're going to need for this recipe. Some fresh dill, ground turmeric, pumpkin seeds, extra virgin olive oil, capers, Dijon mustard, and skin-on salmon fillets, as well as broccoli puree. So this is, straight up brain food. Matt, how do we start?
Let's look after those little gray, gray cells in our brain. This is also helping, with the gray hairs on my head here. This is a fun recipe. This is keeping me light, keeping me lean, keeping me youthful. All jokes aside, it's all about health. We've made a lot of comfort food dishes, but today is about looking after ourselves and making sure that we're eating right. So broccoli, super high in antioxidants, very healthy for us. We're going to make a beautiful broccoli puree. And then we have our skin-on salmon. So when I say skin-on salmon, guys, always reach for skin-on because the majority of omega-3s are always located. It's always in the skin. So if you can, try to always buy skin-on salmon so we're getting those heart healthy properties and those omega-3s. So let's start. Trace, a puree. What's your take?
Something like broccoli, it feels like, I had broccoli, so why not switch it up and do a puree instead? I think it's a great idea.
We eat with our eyes, a couple simple tricks and little tips. So we're going to steam our broccoli. So first I want to cut this down, and we're going to do it into little florets and cut that down. Again, removing our stem. But what would you use this for?
You could use it for stock. You could use it for soup stock. You could use it you can cut that down and throw that into a salad even.
Soup stocks, au gratins, you can use it as something with texture. I like doing it raw. So almost like shaving Brussels sprouts, shave your stems of your broccoli and put that into a beautiful leafy kale salad. Beautiful for you, healthy for you, and beautiful. So all the bees. We're going to take our broccoli. We're steaming this. So just in a small little pot, we've got that going. I've got a cup of water in here. You can have a steamer tray or you can place it right in. We want to keep those big, vibrant colors of our broccoli. So I'm going to pop that in there for about 5 minutes. We're just going to steam it. You want to cover that lid on that. So here we go. So next up, as you can see, guys, we've got our beautiful steamed broccoli right there in itself, super healthy, and away you go. We've got our broccoli going in. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, a pinch of salt and pepper. Again, we can always put a little bit in, and you can add as to taste. So let's keep some of that back. If you need to, too, I like to keep some of our reserved water that we've used from our boiling liquid. So I've kept some hot water that we've had because there's a beautiful, all of our nutrients and flavor that comes in here. Let's just do a little blitz on this. Get a little started, and then I'm going to add at the end, Trace, I want Parmesan Reggiano. So we want that saltiness. It also gives her great texture.
Like you're replicating that whole broccoli with cheese situation, but you're putting it all in the puree together. It's a good idea.
You know what? It's a great way to eat it. So healthy and clean. So we've got our puree. I'm just going to show you what that looks like texture-wise. You can see you've just got that beautiful, beautiful puree. Simple, clean, and away you go. Next up, so we've got our salmon here ready to go. Next is our crust that we want to do. So you talked about pumpkin seeds. Do you cook with pumpkin seeds, Trace?
You know what? Not often, but I know that they're a good source of zinc, and we all need more of that in our body. I just love that you're putting a crust on the salmon. I'm already a fan of salmon, but with the crust, it's like 10 on 10. I love that.
You'll never be eating crustless salmon again. So you're right. Pumpkin seeds, high in magnesium, great in fiber, great in antioxidants as well. I've added now capers, drained, as you said, our turmeric, which is super high in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory. We're going to pop this in. So as you can see, you just want to bring that together nicely. I've got some ready to go, and we're just going to spoon that over. Now, Tracy, at the same time, I want to have my oven going at 375 because we're going to bake these off, and you don't want to overcook them. Salmon, as we know, can be super tricky in terms of just keeping an eye on it. Other ways that you can do this is you could pan fry it as well to have that skin nice and crispy. I like to do it in the oven though because we're not using any other oils, and again, we want to make sure that we're keeping it super healthy and clean, as we know.
And when you bake those, Matt, you're going to do it skin down, right?
Exactly right. You are a sous chef of sous chefs, Tracy. Yeah. So skin down, that's going in. We're going to pop that right into our baking tray. I've got a couple that we'll do a swap out so we can see how beautiful that looks. So going in the oven for roughly around 8 to 10 minutes. Keep an eye on those. Thank you. Those go in. Power of Cityline TV. Now look at this. Look what we've got. Look at the crust there. So you could actually finish that in the broiler if you wanted to as well. I'm just going to put a beautiful dollop of our puree. Comme ça. We're going to top it here. We're going to put, just if you want to get fancy, I've done some little scallions quite thin, and I've left them in cold water so they have a nice little curl. And now we have a heart-healthy, brain-healthy, restaurant-quality dish, Tracy. You know, look at this. Who needs to go out? This is rocking.
So good. Tastes so good for the brain. Delicious and nutritious.